Good morning. This is Pastor Ray from the North Kingsport Church of God. Wanted to come before we have our business meeting tomorrow night, just make sure everything is clear. Tomorrow night we'll be having our second quarter business meeting, and we'll be going over the months of April, May, and June financials. We will elect a new church and pastors council, and we'll be doing the business of the church. Looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to you being there with us. In a few minutes, in about a little over an hour, maybe about an hour. I don't have a clock in front of me, but at 10:30, prayer meeting's getting ready to start here in the sanctuary, and we'll be praying about tomorrow night's meeting because it's important that God's people know what's going on with their finances and the inner workings of the church. And so tomorrow night we'll be doing that. What's important to me is I've heard come back to me some statements like, well, I'm not a member, I won't be there, or, here's where I'm coming from. If you're a regular attender of the church, you're a regular supporter of the church, I want you to be here tomorrow night at 7 so you can vote for council. Now, each person on our list has filled out this good-sized application. We always, in my administrations of pastoring, I always have the potential council members fill out an application and share with me the insights that I need to have in making a good decision about who would be qualified to be on the Church and Pastors Council. That being said, Sunday in the bulletin I gave you one of the ballots so that you could see who the 8 names are that are available to be on the Church and Pastors Council. And of that 8 names, I need you to pick 5 names. Otherwise, the ballot becomes invalid. We need 5 names because it's going to be a 5-member council, and then the next 2 highest votes after those 5 will be our alternates for the next 2 years. So if one of the 5 that gets elected can't serve or has to step down or passes away, then one of the alternates would take over their slot. So we have 8 candidates, which is what we needed to have an election to elect 5 council members and 2 alternates. So I want you to take time. Like I said Sunday, I want you to take time. I want you to look at the names. I want you to pray and ask God who He wants on this Church and Pastors Council. And then I want you to come tomorrow night at 7, and we'll have our business meeting from 7 till 8. I hope we can get everything done from 7 till 8. So again, the names on the list are Michael Brown, Jamie Bush, Jim Field, Barry Gillum, Julie Ho, Randy Sally, Clyde Surgener, and Jim Testerman. The reason they're in that order is because I put them in alphabetical order so I wouldn't get murdered for putting somebody's name before somebody else's name. So they're in alphabetical order, and I want to encourage you again, we really need to have somebody under 55 on the council, and that's Jamie Bush. So I'm encouraging you. I'm not going to make you, and I'm not even going to vote myself, but I'm asking you to really pray about, if we want to grow younger, if we want the church to be successful for the long haul, we need to bring on younger people and bring diversity to the council. That's why I've asked you to vote a woman onto the council, because it gives us diversity. It shows people that are coming into the church that we're just not we don't have just a council of senior men who've been on the council for 48 years, but we are diverse in our council. That's important. If we have all the same type of person, we could get the same type of counsel. So I'm encouraged, please take time and pray over this list and pick 5, check 5, and then I want you to, we'll turn that in on Wednesday night, and then Joe Chadwell, along with another member, will be counting the ballots. And like I said, this is how it works. The ones that get the most votes, the first 5 vote getters will be on the council, and then the 2 next highest will be our alternates, and that's how this will work. Our meeting tomorrow night will be a meeting that follows the Roberts Rule of Order. We will not be discussing anything that's off the agenda. If it's not on the agenda, it's not discussable in the business meeting. And so I will bring an agenda tomorrow night. You'll get to look at it. It will be an agenda that will cover what we need to cover, but yet hopefully get us in and out of this building before midnight, because I don't want to be here all night in the business meeting, and I don't think you do either. So we're going to have a great time, and I really encourage you, if you're not a member of the church, please think about joining the church. Pray about joining the church. But tomorrow night, whether you're a member or not, if you're a regular tender supporter of this church with your tithes and offering, I want you to come and vote. I want to hear your voice tomorrow night. I want you to know what's going on with our church. Because whether you're a member or not, if you're a regular tender supporter of this church, you're a part of our body. And we want you to be fully aware of what's going on. So I'm excited. I'm more excited now than I was on Saturday when I was working on the reports. This is going to be a good report. There's good news. Our church is blessed. We had another great financial month. Our church, in spite of the coronavirus, because of your faithfulness, our church is solid financially, and we're getting a lot of projects done for the good of the church. Can't say enough. Thank you, Randy, for coming and setting me up today and doing the video with me. Randy's the one that's taping this today because Sister Allie's at work. And thank you, Randy, for coming out before you go to work today to make this happen. But I am excited. I'm just tickled. We have a new light up in the carport, so you can actually see under there all the time at night instead of it going in and out. And we're working on, let me just throw this out here since I got your attention. We're looking at, I was told this last week that we need a dishwasher in the kitchen. I was informed we need a dishwasher. So we'll be looking into seeing if that's a possibility as far as plumbing wise and seeing if that's possible. We also, I really think we need to get a commercial grade refrigerator for our fellowship hall so that when we have dinners we can fit more stuff in. We have an ice maker now, so we don't need a lot of freezer space, but we do need more refrigerator space for when we have fellowship dinners and things like that. Also, I'm working on and looking at a new stove, oven and stove for the fellowship hall kitchen. We took out the stove and donated it to a needy family that needed a family in need that needed it because it was awkward the way it was, where it was at, how it was functioning. And so what we really need to do is we need to get a decent stove with an oven that we can slide into the slot where the griddle is. Or is it called a griddle? Is that what it's called?
Yes, sir.
The griddle is not working. It's not in good shape, and we're going to take it out. We were going to take that out either way because the wood below it is rotten and the system needs to be taken out. So the stovetop that's there and the griddle will be coming out. And my hopes is to buy a nice stove with a nice oven to put in that hole there where the griddle was so that the ladies can use it and not get clipped going in and out of the kitchen area in the fellowship hall by the arms sticking out of the old stove. So thanks to those that came and helped us sheetrock that hole in. That's done. Pretty soon the painting will be done in the fellowship hall. And then we're now working on the new adult Sunday school classroom in the old Royal Ranger room. And that is coming along nicely. They're supposed to redo the floors this weekend. And then we'll be painting, putting new baseboard down, new light fixtures in that room. And then it'll be set up so the seniors will be able to come to their own classroom on the left. So that's coming together nicely. A lot of good things are going to happen in phase 2 of the refurbishing for the ladies. I just know that you'll be behind me 100% when you find out. I want to put in new toilets that are not children's toilets. We want to get nice toilets that sit up high and that are stable. And then we want to redo the stalls so that you can actually turn around, you can actually move inside the stall because the stalls are too cramped and tight. But we're going to work on those things so it's more, we're more handicap accessible in the future. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow night. So again, let me make it clear. If you're a regular tender and a supporter of the church with your tithes and offerings, I want you here tomorrow night to be a part of our business meeting. I want to hear from you. I want you to pray about who the 5 you need to vote for on the list. And I want you to vote in a new council for us for the 2-year term. And I want to hear from you about the things that we'll talk about tomorrow night. We're going to be discussing some fun stuff, and we're going to take care of church business. And before it's all said and done, we're going to give God the glory, the honor, and the praise because He's a good God, and He's been so good to us through COVID. I just last night was just in a place of euphoria because I look back and I know what the January's finances were bad. They weren't good. Our tithes for January was a total of, I think it was $8,000. It was not very good for our church. And I just want you to know God has consistently blessed us. And this last month of August, we more than doubled the tithes of January. So $19,000 in tithes came in August. So we are a blessed people. And I believe God's blessing us not only because we are working on refurbishing His house, but because you are faithful people. And I want to thank you for your faithfulness in your tithes and offerings. I'm just so grateful to you. I want to remind you, you should know this by now if you're part of the body of this church. Remember, Pastor loves you, and the best is yet to be. I'll see you either at prayer meeting in a few minutes, or I'll see you tomorrow night at the business meeting at 7 o'clock. See you then. God bless you.